Okay, so today we're going to be looking at how to reduce lag in Diablo 3. It's been a big topic, especially in higher risk for wizards. So first we're going to look at my latency on NA. Currently, I'm just logged in regularly to my NA character, and when I hit start game, it's going to connect me to either a west server or an east server. And we'll demonstrate that by looking at the latency when we get into game. It's going to take a little bit for it to figure everything out, but eventually this latency is going to come down and down as you keep hovering over it. And it's going to come down to around 69 nice milliseconds, depending on my exact connection. Going to keep coming down. Eventually it'll sort itself out. It'll figure out that I am indeed on NA, and it's going to keep the latency falling. This might be about where it bottoms out. 81's sometimes what I get to an NA server. My connection's not the greatest. So that's not what you want, though. You don't want to be on an NA server because the NA servers are bad. It's continuing to fall. What you want to be on is a South American or an Australian server. Now, the easy way to get onto a South American or an Australian server is to live in South America or Australia. That's not really a feasible solution. Luckily, we have other ways. So that other way is we're going to exit Diablo 3. So we're going to close out of Diablo 3 entirely. And when we do that, we're going to show back up to OBS, but that's fine. We're going to minimize this real quick. And we're going to minimize this real quick because we're getting back to that later in the video. And we're going to find ourselves at our BattleNet launcher. So our BattleNet launcher will have a cogwheel next to Diablo 3. We're going to click that, and we're going to go to Game Settings. In Game Settings, there's going to be an additional command line argument box here. You're going to want to check that. And when you check that, you're going to get a little box to fill in text into, and I've prepared this in Notepad. This is the line of text you want. We'll include this line of text in the description, so you can also just copy it and paste it. But what this is going to do is it's going to make us connect to South America. That's what this SA means. If you replace the SA with AUS, it'll connect you to Oz. I'm pretty sure. I haven't quite tested that one myself, but this will definitely get you sent to South America. And the reason we want to do that, so again, after you've gone to game settings, you've gone to your additional command line arguments, you've put this line of text in, you'll click done, and then you'll hit play. And now when Diablo launches, it's going to connect you to the South America region. And the reason why that's good is because the South American servers are newer and less populated, and therefore will lag less. And that's really what we're looking for. You will have higher base latency because you're connecting not quite as close to home, but that's not going to be an issue when you don't lag. So we're going to enter game here, and to demonstrate that we are indeed connected to a different server, I'm going to show you my latency. You could also just trust me and know that we are indeed connected to a different server. But this latency number is going to come down, I think around the 160s is my connection to SA. Your latency number will vary person to person, depending on where you are geographically mostly, and your internet connection. But the connection to SA will always give you less lag, in some sense. It won't lag you out to such that you're going to die in the rift, which is really what we're looking for. So that's really the tip for the lag, is just escape NA, go to some other server. And if you have friends in the other server that you're playing with, that's even better. You can just join their game, and they'll automatically be sent to that server. Additionally, if you are playing with a group, only one person needs to actually put in that code and go to a different server, and then you can just join their game, and you'll all be sent to that server. I hope this was helpful to you, because it will definitely reduce your lag. This seems about to be where the latency is going to bottom out, is 160. So again, higher latency, especially in town, but it'll make it to where you don't lag in the rift, because the servers are better, there's less people playing on them, and there's one more thing I want to get to today before I let you go, and that is we want to look at some ads on Maxroll. So the other question we've been getting a lot is, how do you maintain arcane power with Star Pact? Of course, Star Pact is going to reduce all of your, or ship in all of your arcane power as soon as you shoot the meteor, but you need to get it back before you shoot your next meteor. The trick is you don't need to get all of your arcane power back, but you need to get some of it back, surely. And there are two ways that occurs. One is through the magic weapon rune, which is Conduit, and the other is through the altar power, which gives you arcane power back when you crit. And notably, the when you crit is pretty important and powerful. And you might think that the meteors are killing everything. How do you get your arcane power back? And that's because you need to do a high enough tier. If you do a high enough tier that your meteors aren't immediately killing everything, your meteors will leave a dot on the ground. In addition to your meteor dot, there's also a frost nova dot. You're going to have generating your arcane power when it crits and when it hits. When it crits through the altar and when it hits through magic weapon. So you want to make sure that you have crit rolled in all the places you can have crit rolled, which is gloves, both rings, bracers, amulet, and helm. And then you want to make sure that you are hitting enemies that aren't immediately dying. And that's mostly just caused through getting a high enough greater rift here that they aren't immediately dying. And that's pretty much all I have for you today. So if you've stuck through this far, leave a like on the video. It helps. And subscribe also helps. And also, have a nice day. Thanks.